Greetings. What's going on, guys? Let's see if we can go live everywhere. Should be live. Hopefully, Instagram's working. There we go. There we go. The Grammy Grams on here now. Greetings, guys. Greetings. Greetings. How's everybody doing, man? Gonna do something a little different today. Before we get into it, man, a little housekeeping. Hey, man, as always, if you come to my lives, I'm giving out some free game. My free fat loss system is in the link in the chat. It's called the 50 and 5 month formula because it is in fact what I utilize to lose 50 pounds in 5 months. Put it into a system and help others do the same. Right now, today, what we're gonna do, man, is I got a link in the chat for y'all to actually join the live, man. So if you want to come on, I'm saying, video, make sure you're fully clothed. Don't be getting on this motherfucker naked. That's wild, right? You can ask me questions live and we can kind of just go through whatever you need help with, man. I'm thinking of helping some people get their calories, get their macros and all those things settled on the live if you want to do that. Or if you just had questions about something else, man. So tap the link, and what you're gonna want to do is put in there your name, and your age. Because if you under 21, I can't do this. I can't do the live chat session. So you guys can use the button and do it. All right. So we got that's the link to come through and chat with your boy. Hold on, I gotta put it in the chat again for YouTube and Facebook. All right, let's get into our first question. Um, Ye says, "Can you say I call it 5 rounds of hell?" I guess I just said it. I guess I just said it. Simply deep. I always appreciate your honesty and your observation on stuff, even though the things I bring up can be unrealistic as fuck. Hey man, sometimes, man, like people say things, that are very imaginative. And at the end of the day, you know, it's all about beliefs, man. If I believe that you were being inherently offensive, then I would get offended, right? But if I just believe you just asking questions because you're curious, then I'll just think like that. All right. So we got opinion on doing cardio with a weighted vest on. Um, Walking for an hour, for example. I think it's fine. I don't think it's bad at all. If anything, I would say that it's one of those things that it's probably one of the more useful ways to intensify your low intensity cardio, right? When I talk about low intensity cardio, I am talking about like walking, maybe like going a brisk pace on a bike or something like that, because what you're doing is you're simulating what it would be like if you were heavier and how that would actually force your heart to have to work hard, right? If you're a big motherfucker, right, you big as hell, walking is a task for you, right? Because you heavy. But if you're not as heavy, you're just simulating, a little bit more, um, weight with the resistance of the vest. Then what you do is you force your heart to work harder, force your muscles to work harder, and you sort of add a little extra oomph to everything. All right. Can you do my macros? My man said he's 5'10, 280, 30 years old. Yeah, I can do that. So basically, for my man, like, what's your goal? Are you just looking to lose some weight? Because that's the key. You know what I mean? But let's just assume you are. Let's see. Give me the stats again. 30 years old, 5'10, 280. So 30, 510, 280. Assuming you're a guy, right? So this is what you're gonna want to do, right? You're gonna want to take your BMR. Your BMR right now is 2,200 calories, right? What I like to do is I like to tell my clients to come slightly underneath that for their fat loss calories, right? So what I would do if I were coaching you, I would say 2,000 calories, right? You consume 2,000 calories. With that, at least shoot for somewhere around 200 grams of protein, right? At least get, like, I would coach you on getting a gallon to a gallon and a half of water a day. And then as far as your carbs and fats, I mean, you can kind of play up or down with that depending on, what your lifestyle is like. If you're somebody who, is not that active, like let's say you got a desk job, it's pretty sedentary throughout the day, I'll say maybe only 30% of what your carb intake should come from that. So 30% of that is probably going to be somewhere around, I've coached a lot of guys around this, man. It's probably like 150 grams of carbs or something like that. And then the rest, type one in the comments. I just want to make sure that was helpful information. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here to help the people be great. You know. All right. So is walking better than running for a person who is big as hell? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you big as hell, the last thing you should be doing is running. You know what I'm saying? Putting all that stress on your fucking joints, right? It's needless. And as far as I'm concerned, you're actually heightening the risk of injury, which is going to sideline you and put you in a state where it's actually going to be more likely that you're going to gain more fucking weight because you're going to be sidelined due to injury. So I honestly, I wouldn't do that. Like I would walk if I were you, man. Don't be out here running if you big as hell. You know what I'm saying? And just so everybody's clear, what is the weight ratio of big as hell? Right? What is it? It's really like if you over 250 pounds, right? You big as hell, right? I'm here to tell you. I know you think like some of y'all like, oh, I'm just, I'm big boned, right? Bones on everybody is about the same motherfucking size, right? Right? You ain't big bone, you just big as hell, right? But you can change that. You can change that, okay? That's why we're here to learn how to change that. Hunar, is Recomp effective? So what is a Recomp? So people ask about the Recomp a lot. The Recomp, guys, is basically when, let's say you feel like you like skinny fat and you don't want to necessarily lose a bunch of weight because you think you're gonna get skinny. You really just want to like lose some fat and maybe build muscle, right? Or let's just say you already got some muscle and you like your weight, right? A recomp is like when they describe it as I want to turn this muscle into fat. All right. The common thing between all those is there's some bullshit, right? You can't turn muscle into fat. You can't keep your same weight and lose fat. No, you have to lose the fat and then build muscle back. So I think the best way to look at the recomp is actually just look at cycling, right? Cycle your calories, right? Meaning like maybe you lose some fat, you build some muscle back up and do it in weeks cycles. So do like this is what I've done with a lot of my guys. We go like 4 weeks or so of just like losing fat, right? If they ain't got a lot of fat to lose, and then we spend the next 4 weeks building muscle, right? If that, type one in the chat. All right, so we got somebody coming on. The homie Brutus wants to come on, man. All right, Brutus. You ain't put your age in here, man. If you under 21, man, we're gonna have a problem. Let's just add Brutus to the stage. Yo, Brutus, can't nobody hear you, man. You muted.
Yeah, well,
What's going on, man?
what's up?
Where's your camera at, man? Why we can't see you?
It doesn't work on this computer. My bad.
Yeah, man, it's all good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gotta come on here and be heard, man. Be seen.
Yeah, how do I just like click send in private chat if I have a question?
Nah, I mean, ask the question now, man. What's
All
up?
right. So, according to my Apple Watch, I've been burning about like 4,000 calories per day.
Yeah.
I go to the gym like I go to the gym twice on like non-rest days,
Okay.
and I've been eating like 1,500 calories and
Yeah.
about 120 grams of protein.
Okay.
I'm 5'9", 250 pounds. I just want to know if like
Okay.
that's too aggressive and if I'll lose too much
All right,
muscle.
you got to slow down, and we're gonna have to take a step back because you said a lot really, really fucking fast, Brutus. And I
All right,
apologize, man. My brain don't
it's
process things like it's all good, baby. It's all good, right? So, all right. So how much do you weigh right now?
250.
250. Okay, and you want to lose some fat, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, give me your height and also your age.
5'9", 22 years old.
Okay. Young buck, man. Young
Uh,
22, man. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I remember those years, man. It was a simpler time.
Yeah, but
All right, so look, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Brutus. And this would be good for anybody else watching. That's why I'm glad Brutus came on, man. Thank you for coming on, by the way.
yeah, of course.
Um, so your BMR, like what your body should be burning at rest. Just bear in mind, like there's some variance person to person, right? This is just a estimate, a calculation with a little calculator I just did in the background, right? It says that yours is about 2,100 calories right now.
All right.
So without you doing anything, right? Fuck what the Apple Watch is talking about, right? You ain't even walking out like side, like your body's gonna do that on its own,
All right.
right? So how many calories are you consuming right now?
1,500. And it's
1,500.
pretty exact. I like weigh everything out and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you're going hard. So how long have you been on this 1,500?
This has been 3 weeks exactly.
And you
Tomorrow,
lost a lot of weight real quick, didn't you?
yeah, family members have been noticing.
Okay. How much did you lose? You've been tracking your weight loss?
Yeah. So far it's been 12 pounds.
Okay, congrats. Come on, Brutus. Hey man, let's hey,
Thank
let's clap it up for Brutus in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Congrats, brother. So I think right now, I mean, it sounds like you're just asking, is that too aggressive? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because the thing is, I don't want to lose too much muscle.
Yeah. How much
Yeah,
protein are you taking in with that 1,500 calories?
about 120 grams. I know it's like it's supposed to be
Yeah.
like a
Why
pound.
so low?
It's just I don't know, like it's just hard to like the calories to keep them low enough
Okay.
without it going over.
Well, okay.
And
Can I make a suggestion?
like I was like, if I do just like pure, just like chicken the whole time, or just like core powers, then the math works out right. But I'm trying
Yeah.
to find other ways.
Nah, if you trust me, bro, like you're a big guy, 255.9. I'm 5'10. The heaviest I ever was 230. And even when I was at that size, right? Because we about the same height, like I never went under like 180 grams of protein, right? Like, so you're definitely being very aggressive with the amount of protein being as low as it is. And so there is some risk there inherently that you may lose some muscle because you didn't tell me your body fat percentage. You know your body fat percentage?
I do not know. I don't have the scale
Okay.
for it.
It's all good, baby. Hey, we're going to work with what we got. We got some data. Look, if you had your body fat percentage, you could from that actually calculate what your lean muscle mass is. The amount of protein you should be consuming to maintain as much of the muscle as you can is in relation to that number, right? So whatever your lean mass number is, that's how much you actually need to get per gram to maintain as much as possible,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay.
Yeah, we're just assuming right now that it's like way lower than it needs to be, being 120, right? And I would assume, like, if I was to coach you, like I would put you around that 180 170 180 mark, because I'm just assuming that if you're lifting the weights and you're not super morbidly obese and you're that height, you probably got at least somewhere north of like 150 pounds of lean mass on you. But you
All
won't
right.
know unless you actually like measure it with the fucking like body composition scale,
Okay.
or you go to a facility where they can measure your body fat, right?
So it's the amount of lean muscle, like
Yes.
your pounds and lean. Okay, pounds and lean muscle.
Pounds of lean muscle determines how many grams of protein you should be consuming. It's not your total weight.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Because protein fuels your muscle.
Yeah.
It doesn't fuel fat. So you don't need to count the fat and
Okay.
how much grams of protein you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. All
Okay.
right. Thank you so much, Corey. I
No
appreciate it.
problem, bro. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. Next time, man, hey, come on with your camera on next time, man. So
All
we can
right.
see.
All right. I'll use a different device next time, but I
All
appreciate it.
good. All good, man.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye. You
Peace,
too.
bro.
Later.
All right. All right. So yeah, guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm answering questions. Go ahead, hit the link, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on live with me. And I got you. But that's the thing, man. It's like I think there's a lot of misinformation perpetuated out there in the world of fitness about how much protein you really need. Your protein should be tied to the amount of the amount of like pounds of lean muscle mass that you actually have. Like that's how you want to look at that. You know what I'm saying? All right. What else? What other questions we got? What other questions we got, man? Comcast playing games with your boy. All right. Internet's good now, man. It's straight disrespecting my man's. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. What could I sub out chicken and fish if I want to switch up my meals weekly? What could you sub out for chicken and fish? I would say like, yo, you could you could do a lot of different protein sources like that aren't chicken or fish. Like when I was really, cooking a lot for myself before I started doing like meal prep companies that do this switching up thing for me. I would love to like mess around with different cuts of steak, uh, lean ground beef. I'm a big fan of salmon personally, right? Because it's one of the more tasty fishes out there because of the healthy fats, right? The dietary fats help hold flavor better. Um, I like ground bison. Ground bison. If you ain't ever had some lean ground bison in your life, yo, go treat yourself tonight, right? Go get you some tonight. Leave the fucking chat and go get some, because that stuff is amazing. Um, there's a lot of other things like ground lamb, but ground lamb is fatty. It's really fucking good, but it is fatty. So I would only do that if you got some good fats in your macros or like on a refeed day when you got to get some extra calories anyway. Um, those are kind of the ones. A ground turkey, turkey cutlets. Those are all good ones too that come to mind. Um, just some of my personal favorites. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that's helpful. All right, cool. I'm surprised ain't nobody else want to come on the chat. Come on the chat with your boy. I guess y'all shy today, but the homie Brutus pulled up. All right, here we go. Um, all right. So, what protein is needed for 245 pounds, 5'3", 73-year-old lady with only 32 pounds of dry lean mass? Okay, so the dry lean mass, I don't think that's the thing you need to be focused on. What you need to be focused on is really your BMR, your total calories, and then getting your protein from your total calorie number. I like to coach my clients on getting the majority of their macros and protein, like 40% of the calories from protein. Reason being is protein is the most filling macronutrient, and it's also one of the ones, it's the most important when it comes to muscle retention and growth. And we all want more muscle. Why? Burn more calories at rest, right? You can actually look good when you lose this motherfucking fat, right? So let's start there. So Joleen, I'm assuming these is your stats. I'm gonna find your numbers right now for you, live on stage, baby. Let's get to it. So you 245, Joleen. right? Every time I hear Joleen, I think of Angelina Jolie. All right. Is anybody else think about that chick, the Tomb Raider? All right. All right, 245, 5'3", 73 years old. So according to my BMR calculator, your body burns 1,600 calories at rest, right? So with you doing nothing, right, your body's gonna burn 1,600 calories. Now, if I was coaching you, I would just pull the calories down about 200 below BMR, and that's just a good, like, friendly range to ensure that you're gonna be in a deficit, because you're actually like coming underneath what your body burns on its own. And then let's just assume you're working out, right? That's just gonna be extra credit. That's gonna be sprinkles on top of the ice cream, right? They put sprinkles on ice cream still, right, y'all? I don't know, right? So I will bring you around 1,400 calories. Like that's what I would prescribe you, Joleen, and then I would put you at 40% of 1,400, and that's 140 grams of protein, right? It's 140 grams of protein. You do that, and you drink a gallon of water every day. At least get 20 to 30 grams of fiber every day. You're gonna be satisfied. You're gonna be full. You're gonna be in a deficit, and you're gonna burn all kinds of fat. Right now, if that was helpful, type 1 in the chat. Type 1 in the chat. And if you guys want to join the chat, right? If you want to join the live session, you can join the live session with the link, that I'm about to provide in the chat. Let me drop it again. You can join the live. Join the live. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk one-on-one, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all get y'all questions answered. You know what I'm saying? Join the live. If you do go to that link, what you got to do is you got to type your name and your age, right? If you're under 21, I can't bring you on camera, right? I can't do it. Yo, Rashawn. Yo, I called you this morning, man. Rashawn's in the Armstrong Army. What up, man? So can you talk about consistency when it comes to keeping track of food intake? Yeah, I can talk about that, man. So if you track your calories right now consistently, type 1 in the chat, right? All right. So all of you guys that aren't typing 1, you need to listen to what I'm about to fucking say, right? If you don't track what you do, you're leaving your results up to chance. Let me explain why. Let's say you're going on a road trip to somewhere you've never been before, right? And if you are in the driver's seat, you're driving, right? You can comfortably follow the road map, right? You can follow the road map. The GPS will essentially guide you to where you need to be, and you can have certainty that you're going to get there because you're following the road map. Cool thing about GPS is you can map there and you can map back, right? Sergio, I seen you join the chat. You can come back if you want. If not, it's cool. But you can have confidence that you can just follow the map and it gets you to destination A and destination B. It gets you there and then you get to leave and go back home, right? If you're not tracking, yo, Deric, I see you in the chat. I'm about to bring you in a second. I gotta get this off, right? So if you're not tracking, that's the equivalent of like being in the passenger seat, right? So like, let's say you on the same road trip, somebody else is driving, right? And you just like on your phone, scrolling social media the whole time, watching movies, reading a book. Maybe you fall asleep, you take a nap, then you just wake up and you somewhere different, right? You don't know how the fuck you got there. You don't even know how to get back. Why? Because you was asleep. You wasn't behind the wheel. You don't have the road map. You don't know the direction. That's what it's like not tracking, right? You basically that person that's on the road trip that wasn't paying attention to how we got here. And so if you don't want that, right? If you want to have confidence that this journey is going to be a road you're going to travel, right? You're going to get to your destination and you're going to be comfortable and confident that you can maintain these results, so to speak, like you got to track it, So it's just about really dialing in with that thinking and setting up a plan for yourself. Like I tell my clients who suck at tracking, right? Because everybody sucks at first. I say, look, put it in your calendar, man. Use your phone, right? People be like, oh man, I'll be forgetting. Like, why are you trying to remember, man? It's 2024. Like, we got technology. Just put it in your phone and let your phone remember. And then, let that be the reminder for you. So, guys, if that was helpful, type 1 in the chat. Right? Type 1 in the chat if that was helpful. All right. Let's bring the homie Deric on. Yo, Deric, what up, man?
Hey, Corey, what's going on? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, brother. How you doing, man?
Awesome. The technology works some of the time, most of the time.
I like it, man. And another bald brother coming in the chat, man. That's what we like, man. Shout out to
Hey,
us.
man. Hey, I want to appreciate all the information you're providing out there. Your information is very solid, very informative. So first of all, just giving praise to you for doing what you're doing is greatly appreciated for the guys out there, for the women as well, that need some basis to get it started on. So that's why I wanted to jump in on live and see if we can help get me some information so I can get my program started.
Yeah. Thank you for the kind words, man. How can I help you today, man? What you need help with, bro?
So kind of like the last guy who spoke, I do have some numbers that I'm trying to understand what my initial BMR is going to be. So, but just to give you some numbers to work off of, I'm 58, 6'3", 267, with a BMI of 41.8.
Okay. Hold on. So give me your height again.
6'3".
6'3". All right. So you 58, 6'3", 267, right?
Yep, you got it.
All right. So I got a BMR for you over here. I got 2100 roughly. What'd you say you had? I want to kind of see how this lines up.
That's the number I had. I went to a nutritionist to start working on getting a rate. So that's kind of what they had told me was about 2200. So what I've been looking to do is start a program that will be somewhere close to about maybe 18 to 1900.
Yeah. If you're looking to lose some fat, I mean, that's typically like a good amount of a deficit that I would recommend. Like whenever I coach somebody, like I like to come in just like a few hundred calories shy of the BMR. I'm gonna tell everybody why I do that. I'm gonna tell you too, Derek. It's like it pretty much ensures that as long as you follow the nutrition, like you're gonna see some change. You're gonna see some fat loss, and then it's like now you couple that with the actual activity, right? The lifting the weights, the cardio, whatever you decided you're gonna do. That's just padding the stats. You know what I mean? And so that route I would definitely recommend for you, man. Just kind of coming like 200 shy of that, maybe like 1800, 1900, something like that.
Yeah, between 18 to 19 is what I had been looking at. It's then trying to convert that to macros because I want my macros to be more in line to what I'm looking for. So is it going to be the amount of protein that you're looking to consume on a daily basis? It's supposed to be based upon, if I got this right, on what your target rate that you want to consume or what you're trying to get your weight down to, using that as your guide for your protein. Is that correct? Or
some people teach the protein like that. I don't really like it because it's just kind of arbitrary, man. It don't really have a basis other than just kind of, hey, estimate what you might want to weigh, right? But sometimes you get to a weight and you don't, you want to lose even more. So what do? Reduce your protein now? Like, nah, I think this is better. And this is really good, especially if you're a heavier person. It's like take the calories and then from the calories, because calories are made of macros. So 100% of your calories are made of macros, but you distribute the calories based off a percentage of what you consume. So 40% of what you consume should be protein of that calorie total that you have. Now you don't have to do that math because it's boring, right? You can just put it into a calorie counter and they have macro ratios in there and then it'll spit out the numbers for you. Everybody here can do that. Once you find your calories, it's pretty fucking easy. Just go to a macro calculator, plug in your calories, tell it what percentage you want it to have, and then boom, that's it. Now I'm about to do yours because you came through, brother, because you came through, Deric. I'm about to do yours for you live, right? If anybody else wants their macros calculated, feel free to request a spot, right? So So basically, where's my macro thing at? Macro calculator. Might have to find the thing, but I can tell you right now, I know the first number because I'm just a dork. So the first number is based off the calories. So let's say we put you at 1,800 calories, right?
Right.
40% of that's protein. So
Okay.
180 grams of protein, right? That's your first number. Now I'm just looking for my calculator to find your other two numbers. But is all of this like, is it making sense so far?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like, I know this is where it gets a little weird. Like, it's like, all right, man, like, how do I know which one of these numbers? Yeah, I might have to do
And
something.
sometimes, I guess sometimes it's just to get started, right? Even if you don't have it down exact, it's to get started with something, to put something in place so that you have somewhere to go from. And then you, as you're moving along, you may change as you're going, but you got to get started somewhere. So you got to have some targets to shoot at.
Absolutely. Now, what did you say your target weight was? Did you kind of have like something in mind as to like, all right, I want to get to this?
Yeah, the first number I want to get down to be perfectly honest, is 245.
Okay. Why 245?
Just to put a number, just to start there and see what it looks like after what it takes to get to that point, and then revise it and see where to go next, because I don't know what that will look like. It's been a moment since I've been at that number, to be honest with you, Corey. So I can't tell you at this stage what it will look like or what it will feel like. The question is, then I can decide, okay, how am I feeling? How is my body reacting to that? And then decide what the next step will be. But I got to have a first stage. And I think 22 pounds is a good number to go with. It could be 25, but I think 22 to start.
Yeah. I think you're right. And that's another thing is like, so these numbers I'm about to give you, they will change as you're progressing, right? As you're changing. And guys, if anybody else requests to come on here, like it's the same rules apply. It's like your macros will change as you lose more weight. And especially if you have a lot of weight that you're looking to lose, like you, Deric, like you're looking to like lose a good, not just 10 pounds, like a few.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's
Agreed.
gonna have to evolve over time. All right, I finally got my thing working. All right, man. Never give up hope. All right. So if we doing 1,800, man, 180 grams of protein, 135 grams of carbs, and then 60 grams of total fat. You do that every day, bro, at least get you like 1.5 gallons of water in, right? Maybe shoot for like 20-30 grams of that in fiber intake. Fiber just comes from your carb sources, so making it like more fruits and whole grains and things like that, bro, you're gonna shed all kinds of fat, man. All I ask is you just pull up to a live and just tell me how much weight you lost.
Okay, that'll be cool. I can definitely do that. I can definitely do that. Now the grams, just to understand, how do I translate that? Or really, I'm not counting calories. I'm really counting grams, right? So more so when I look at my numbers, I'm counting the grams, not the calories. The calories will take care of themselves if I work on the grams.
That's exactly it. Like when you track macros, you're inherently tracking calories. So it takes the consideration of calories off the table. It's like if you spending dollars, you're spending cents. You're just not focused on the cents because it's encapsulated into the dollars, if that makes sense.
Okay. Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. That's the start. I'll work on trying to establish a workout program. I'm just going to start walking at first and do some moderate weights at the gym as an alternative to that. But the diet is more important than the weights, because that you can do all the weights you want to, but the diet is trash. It's not going to mean no type of gain, no type of results, no type of advancement. So I get it.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
No problem. Nah, anything else? Or you good?
Now, it's going to get me started, man. I'm going to have to do the other part is the motivation. So I'm just going to have to figure out some ways and stay motivated in the morning, get it going, get it started, and to just make sure I'm touching my numbers every day. I do have my fitness, so I do have that set up so to go ahead and track my intake. I just also have to kind of
thoughts on the motivation too.
So what? Yeah, please, whatever. Yes, absolutely.
So with the motivation, man, it's like motivation is it's an emotion. It's gonna come, it's gonna go. Sometimes you're gonna be motivated, sometimes you're not, right? I would just say when you're not motivated, actually embrace that, right? And this is important for everybody, not just you, Deric. Like the lack of motivation forces you to have to take action in a disciplined manner, because to do things you don't feel like doing is discipline, right? It's to just take action regardless of the emotion. But you can't get discipline unless you train discipline. It's like a
Yeah.
muscle. It's like you do discipline action when you're not motivated. So
Yeah.
take it as a good sign, like, all right, man, I'm not motivated, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That is you exercising discipline and building and enforcing what's really going to make this a long-term change for you, which is
Yeah,
just
I
doing
apologize.
it.
I really did use the wrong word. I should have used discipline, not motivation, because I've actually heard you say that before. So that was
Yeah.
on my fault because I used the wrong word. I should have said
All
I
good,
need to be
baby.
more
All good.
disciplined in that. Thank you.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I realized
There you
that.
go. Discipline is the king. You know what I'm saying? Cool. All right, bro. Well,
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
till next time, man. Take it easy, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right, peace. All right, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you'd like to come on to the live, I got a little link for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Use this to join the live. Yeah, man. What's next, man? You know what I'm saying? What's the other questions we got? What's the other questions we got? All right, here we go. Armstrong Army. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. We out here. We out here. Somebody put booty. All right. I mean, you know, sometimes you got to talk about booty. Nah, it doesn't matter. Do that when I'm 7 pounds. Okay. I think Watermelon's having a conversation with somebody in the chat. I don't know who, but yeah, shout out to him. Travis, 52 years old, 5'10, 248, 34% body fat. I drive a truck for 10 to 11 hours a day, but do 30 minutes of kettlebell training 3 times a week and 30 minutes on a treadmill on my off days. Calories needed for fat loss. Oh, Travis, that's light work, baby. So let's go ahead and give you your calories, man. And since I got the macro calculator pulled up, let me give you your macros too, because you know, the homie Deric came through, asked the question. Shout out to him. So Travis, for you, 52, age 52, you 5'10, you know what I'm saying? And you are 248 pounds, 248. And boom. So your calories, so your BMR is 2000, right? So if I was coaching you, I'd say just come about maybe 200 calories shy of that, 200 to 300, because again, if you're sitting a lot, you don't really need a ton of calories. So let's just say you want to go aggressive since you sit a lot. You can come 1700 calories, get at least 170 grams of protein. Let me get all your macros actually real quick. 1700 calories. I'll put you in my 40, 30, 30 split. Yep. So 170 grams of protein at 1700 calories. Your carbs, make them 128 grams, right? And then 57 grams of fat. You do that with at least like a gallon to a gallon and a half of water every day, bro, you're going to lose all kinds of fat and you're just going to come back and thank me. All right. If that was helpful, type 1 in the chat. Just want to make sure I'm, helping the homie Travis out. You know what I'm saying? Big as hell, accidentally ate a triple cheeseburger. I don't know if you can accidentally eat a triple cheeseburger. Is that possible? Accidentally? A whole triple cheeseburger? That's wild. Hey, Corey, I've heard that sugar-free sodas are terrible, but for me, It's a good alternative for snacking. If I ever feel that I need a snack, I'll have sugar-free soda, and it prevents me from snacking. Listen, I'm not a big fan of snacks and shit. Like, honestly, like, I think you should be looking to have foods that like make you less likely to snack, right? So even when I talk about like snacks in my videos, I'm really talking about like food items that are convenient and fast, but are filling, right? And the reason I harp on that is, let's just say you got the sugar-free soda, right? Sugar-free soda has a slight insulatory response, meaning you release some of the hormone called insulin, and insulin's job is to store nutrients, not burn. So your body goes into store instead of burning. If you do that several times throughout the day, right, your body's going to continue to ask for more and more nutrients to store every time that happens. So I don't fuck with a lot of shit like that if I don't have to, because of that reason. Personally, I would rather go with something that's just is actually gonna, if I'm gonna have an insulin response, it's something that's gonna slow the digestion, like something that's high in protein, high in fiber, high in water, or just consume more water, right? So, one thing I drink all the time, you guys kind of saw me putting some in my water. I drink electrolytes pretty much like every day. And I drink electrolytes every day because when you add electrolytes to your water, the sodium in it allows your muscles and cells to retain the hydration. So when that happens, you're now sustaining from, the hydration in your cells, the energy, right? And the hydration itself actually helps your body starts to utilize fat for energy. So it's so much better than just drinking that fucking bullshit, man. It's so much better, man. Okay. Tea Spilling TV. I like that name. Tea Spilling. All right, hold on. Let me drink this. I'm 55, 261. Was 279, but I'm fighting with after eat foods. It's a struggle with that. I feel like after I eat foods is driving me nuts. I'm trying to find out how to deal with this. Well, listen, I think it kind of bleeds into what I was just saying a moment ago, right? Like, if you're struggling with like sustaining energy or being satisfied, you just probably eating foods that aren't satisfying. Like, you're eating things that cause the body to want to crave more things, right? Well, instead, you should be looking to fill yourself and fuel yourself with things that are, slower in digestion, right? Like protein, fiber sources, as I mentioned before, or just hydrating better. Like, have you ever sat down, tea spilling, and asked yourself, how much water did I drink today? Because I guarantee, like, if you're really struggling with this, you probably not as focused on water as you need to be, right? Water is the one thing we can't go without for very long at all, right? You can go like a few weeks without food, right? Especially if you got a lot of body fat, right? That's just extra energy for your body to run off of, Like, if you don't believe me, Google this. What's the longest fast in human history? You're going to see this big motherfucker named Angus Barberry pop up. Angus was big as hell, right? And he was prescribed this by doctors, I think. I think doctors put him on this. Like, yo, you so big, you're going to hurt yourself, right? You're going to be up out of here, right? Angus big ass fasted for over a year. It was like 360 days or something like that. Actually, no, it was more than that, because there's 365 days in a year. So his was like, it was over. It was like 380 days or something like that, right? And how did he do that? Well, he just hydrated the whole time, took a multivitamin, and had like, I think it had like his electrolytes pumped into him. That was it. He didn't worry. He didn't have nothing else. How did he survive? Hydration, right? Hydration is king. If you ain't getting enough water in, you playing yourself, right? You are playing yourself, So that would be the thing that I would highly encourage. All right. Travis said, thanks, coach. Hey, no problem, man. No problem. And guys, again, if you want to come on the live, I'll drop the link one more time. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come on, and ask me questions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you want your macros done, come through. You know what I'm saying? Come through. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down. All right. Next question. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on the live. Got like 10 minutes before my next meeting. And we're gonna do the damn thing. All right. Could you do my macros? Sure. Your macros at 5'8", 179. You want to lose some more fat. Okay. So first and foremost, if you looking to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time, you've been sold a fucking dream, right? You're not gonna be able to do both at the same time. Okay, so go ahead, just get that out of your brain. You only can pick one. So I would say lose the fat and maintain as much muscle as you can. And then once you've got that fat off, right, you can see the muscle definition, tone, all that stuff. Then increase the calories, right, and then focus on muscle growth. So if you 5'8", right, 22, young buck. I remember when I was 22, man. I was wilding. I was a wild boy, and 179 pounds. So you, my friend, your BMR is 1,800 calories. So what that basically means is that's how many calories your body burns with no effort, right? That's what your body's just gonna burn on its own. All you gotta do is just come a few calories beneath that, maybe like 1,600 calories, right? A little something light, you know what I mean? And then you consume that. For your macros, like I would put you 160. Let's see real quick. Let's see, 160 grams of protein, 120 grams of carbs, and 53 grams of fat. You do that, yo, you're gonna get lean. All right. Just come back and show some love and let me know how much weight you lost once you lost it. Okay. All right. Lose weight. To lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you consume. Okay, but have you heard of the carbohydrate-insulin model? The carbohydrate-insulin model is a purely hormonal-based thinking. So it's basically the deeper meaning of the whole burn more calories than you consume, right? So fat loss is one part caloric and another part hormonal. Which one is more influential? It's the hormones, right? Because the calories tell the hormones what to do. So my man here is actually pretty smart, because what he's expressing is that when you consume carbohydrates, right, it's not the same as consuming like protein and fats, in that when you consume carbohydrates, your body secretes insulin, and insulin causes your body to store nutrients, store glucose, store water, right, for later use. And so when that's happening, you're not burning. So constant consumption of high carbohydrate foods, especially if you get to a state where you become insulin resistant, will lead to the fat loss process being much harder, if not impossible, right? So he's basically expressing, and this is kind of what I talk about in my videos too, is like, yo, if you ain't super active, you don't have a lot of muscle mass, you probably shouldn't be eating a bunch of fucking carbs, because you have to justify that carb consumption with either your metabolic rate or your activity, right? And the reason that is because, again, insulin is storing these nutrients into those muscles and cells, and if it just sits there and never gets utilized, everything you consume afterwards is just packing on top of that. So yeah, man, you're a smart brother. Smart brother talking about that. Thank you, Celine, for coming through, talking about insulin, right? Insulin be putting people to sleep. Anytime, any tips for avoid losing too many gains while being out of the gym with the injury for a few weeks? Yeah, man, consumption of protein, right? You know, making sure your protein is pretty high in relation to your lean body mass. So if you got that number, right, you know what your body fat percentage is, you know what your lean mass is. If you can match your lean mass in grams of protein, right, now you're putting yourself in the best position to ensure that you keep all the muscle that you got, right? So it's like, if I were you, I would just focus really on that, because if it, depending on what the injury is, right, you like, sometimes I would encourage, like, let's say I got a client who like broke their ankle, right, so they can't do lower body movements, but they can do some stuff with their upper body. Maybe I would put them on like some resistance bands workouts. They could just do seated, you know, without having to stand on that foot, you know. So I don't know the severity of it, but sometimes resistance bands are really good for this reason. But really just, I think you really just gotta focus on protein more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Won't carbs cause celiac disease? Not necessarily, right? Like, I'm not gonna say that they're not linked, but I'm gonna say that, like, that's a general ass statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because some people have celiacs that overconsume carbs doesn't mean carbs will cause celiacs. You know what I mean? Is, you know, is just like when people be like, man, you know, all, when you hear these angry women who in the dating space, all men ain't shit, right? Well, no, it's not all men. It's just the guys that you have dated, right? You know what I mean? Or maybe there's some way that you're behaving that's getting the behavior out of them, you know, or because there's some good men out here somewhere, you just ain't been able to come in contact with them, right? It's like, carbs ain't gonna make you just get celiac disease inherently by themselves. Maybe the type of carbs that you've been eating or that some motherfuckers been eating might have a direct link to that, but not carbs inherently themselves, if that makes sense. You know, what should your macros be if you're pre-diabetic? If you give me your stats, Tara, your height, your age, and your weight, I can tell you what your macros should be here on the live, if that's cool with you. Or you can join the live if you want to, you know what I'm saying, chats, and you got to use the link in the thing. But yeah, like, you can like, I can give you your macros, but generally speaking, like, it's really just similar to what I teach, like high protein, really drastically lower your carbohydrates and actually increase your healthy fats. But Tara, if you want me to give you your specific numbers, just drop your age, your height, and your weight in the chat, and I got you. Okay. Why is my left arm stronger than my right, but I'm right-handed? Is there a way to fix that? Yeah, you want to focus on what's called unilateral training, basically just utilizing, you know, strength movements on the individual basis, left to right. So this can be done with suspension training. This can be done with, you know, dumbbell training, kettlebell training. You can do it on some cable stations, machines, things like that. Just focus on individually training each side. And this is a really good pro tip for people who have like a imbalance left to right, because we all have it to some degree, but some people's is very glaring. What you want to focus on is utilize a weight that the weaker side is challenged by. Don't judge the weight that you're going to use by how strong the strong side is, right? So let's say like your left arm stronger, the right arm, right? That's what you're going to judge what weight you're going to use off of. So let's say you're doing some presses, or you're doing some motherfucking presses, and your right arm really struggles with like 50, right? So you only, you know, your program says 8 to 12 reps. You can only get maybe 6 with 50, right? What I would do is I would come down. All right, let's use these 45s where I can get my 8 reps with the right side, even though I know the left side could have knocked out that, you know, that set of 8 to 12, no problem with the 50, right? The right side wasn't ready for it. So we only go up to that next weight when the weak side is ready. Okay. Does that make sense? Type 1 if that makes sense. All right. Hello, it's my first time on here. What do I get out of insulin resistant state to lose weight? What do I get out of? Okay. So if you're in an insulin resistant state, how do you get out of it? I think that's what you're attempting to ask here. So briefly, I'm gonna just go through this, and then I'm gonna get Tara's macros, and then I gotta go because I got a meeting in 2 minutes. Okay. So what insulin resistance is it's your body basically being in a state where it's secreting insulin so much, right? You ate so much fucking sugar over the years that your body has to put out an absorbent amount of insulin to just remove the sugar from your bloodstream, because it's so much. It's backed up, right? It's backed up. So how do you reverse this? Well, really, you have to lower the sugar in your bloodstream by consuming less sugary foods. So less highly processed, high carbohydrate foods. That's what I'm about to show Tara when I do her macros, right? But then the other side of it is get your body better at burning sugars, right? So lower consumption of sugary foods. Maybe do some intermittent fasting to give your body more time to clear out the sugar that's inherently in the bloodstream, in your muscles, in your cells, right? Give your body more time to burn through those sugars. And then, the big thing, build more muscle. Guys, if you are insulin resistant, guess what? Building muscle makes you more insulin sensitive because your body has more cells, more volume of space to actually place the sugars that you consume. So it's literally the best thing that you can do to improve your insulin sensitivity right now. Build some muscle, get strong, right? All right, Tara. All right, 45, 45. Okay. Tara is 45. She's 255. And she is 5'7". 77793 11. All right. So Tara, your BMR is 1,800 calories. So without you doing anything, your body's going to burn 1,800 calories. And so my recommendation to you would be consume slightly less than that. So I would if I was coaching, I'd put you at 1,600 calories, right? And then the macros for that, basically I put you on 40% protein, right? Maybe about 45% fats. And then the remaining, I think it's like 15% remaining would be what I would put you on for your carbs, right? And the reason I would put your carbs at like 50% or maybe even less if I could is just I want you to start getting better at utilizing fat as a fuel source. Your cells can run off two fuel sources: fats or glucose. Glucose is just a fancy word for the sugar that your body uses from food. So it takes food and it converts it into glucose. So food energy or fat energy, right? And so when you reduce carbohydrates, you're putting, less glucose in essentially. And because dietary fats are chemically similar to the fats in your cells and your fat cells, right? You're teaching your or a fuel source when you increase your fats, right? This is why the keto dorks love keto so much, right? So Tara, these are your macros, and then I gotta go 160 grams of protein, 80 grams of fat, 60 grams of carbs, right? You do that, make sure you Tara, if you're listening to me, make sure you get at least a gallon to a gallon and a half water every day, or you're gonna suffer, right? Because when you drop your carbs like that, your body's going to be releasing water quickly. So you got to replenish it. But you do that, you're going to come on the next live talking about how much weight you done lost. Okay. And more importantly, your A1C levels are going to drop significantly. Guys, if this live stream was helpful, if you got some value from it, just type 1 in the comments, man. Just type 1. Type 1 if you got something from this. All right. If you want me to go live more often, right? You was feeling what I was doing today. Give me a flex emoji in the chat. And I shall see you guys in the next episode. Peace. 7